How are we doing today? I see that we have done the perfect time for today at 11:36, pulling up, doing what we need to do because we're going to be hitting multiple time zones. We're going to be hitting California's time zone, which is 9 o'clock, my time zone, which is 11 o'clock, the East Coast time, which is going to be 12 o'clock, the UK time, which is going to be 6 o'clock. Like, I'm telling y'all, we have hit the perfect time zone for this one today, which I'm ready to see the flood of comments, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Here pretty soon, y'all, I am working on getting this right here. I'm working on getting a subscriber wall going for us, something like that. Yo, Juan says hi, bro. Yo, KO Rants, even though I know that's not what it is, but KO Rants says, yo, what's up, dude? It says I'm gonna be right back. All right, bet. Juan is going crazy with the emotes right now. We love that for you. We love that. We love that a lot. Oh my goodness, y'all. I'm telling y'all, I can't wait to be writing down people's names because that's what we're going to end up doing. We're going to do that on one of these videos coming up really soon. I'm not going to lie to you. We're going to do it really soon. Really, really soon. I'm probably going to end up going to Walmart tomorrow, and I'm probably going to end up getting a whiteboard. We'll do a whiteboard so that way I can go and I can write down the names and erase it for that one comment, but just keep on going. Yo, Prince says good morning. What's up, Prince? Good morning to you, man. Morning to you. Welcome back into the stream, man. I was just talking about writing down people's names on like a whiteboard or something like that so we could actually end up going, and then erasing for that video, taking a picture of it, posting it, and saying our new subscribers, and then just keep on going back and forth that way. I think that would be a great idea. I think it would definitely work. So I'm gonna end up giving that one a try too. Hold it to where it'll be like flipping it around and then writing the names on them. I think that would be a good idea. I think it would work. I really do. But yes. But how have y'all been though? My wonderful people, how have y'all been? Because I know that it is a good Sunday morning, so I wanted to see how y'all are doing today. It says, Ryan says, what a stud. He getting fancy with the wordings now. We appreciate that, Ryan. We really do. Thank you. Oh my goodness, he says, what a stud. We're just trying to match y'all. That's all we're trying to do. We're trying to match y'all. Look at that. We got another light. That's what's up. It says, had a bunch of people on my live yesterday leaving a bunch of crazy comments. That's what I'm saying, dude. I'm telling you, some of them are wild on here. It's like the more you get, the more you're going to end up having. It's unbelievable. Kim Amy says, hi. What's up, Kim? How are we doing today? Yeah, I just know that this is going to be a great live stream. I know there's going to be a lot of people that come into this one, and I know that it's going to be wild. Yo, Adrides? Is that Adrides? Adrides says hello. Yo, it says, oh my gosh, my favorite gay streamer ever. Okay, dude. Not gay, but okay. Let me see. Here it says, did you know that I occurred to be a lemon? Wow, really? That's insane. Y'all, pretty soon, I'm not going to lie, we're actually going to be doing a writing for subscriber names, so we would appreciate it if you actually did so. Yo, Nere? I want to say Nere. Nere says hi. What's up to you? Okay, let me see. It says, have I seen Stranger Things endings? No, and I'm definitely not going to be watching Stranger Things by any means. Let's do that right there. And it says, Lemon Soldier says, I will sub now. Thank you so much. Shout out to Lemon for subscribing for us. We appreciate that. Thank you, Lemon. Yo. Does this say Escuela? Escuela says hi. What's up? Let me see. Here's the Stranger Things is so stupid for real. Oh, man. To each their own on Stranger Things, honestly. They can have it. Yo, Kinsey says Coco channel. Nice. Let me see here. Trini says hi. Gabby says hi. Let me see here. It says, can you give me a fa? Let me see here. Suika says I like. Let me see. It says Trini Charles says hi, bro. Yo, what's up? It says Stranger Things is amazing, bro. Kennedy says that. Troy says hi, bro. It says Arise says I subscribe. Shout outs to you for subscribing. Thank you. It says do a backflip, bro. I can't do a backflip. It says hi. Let me see. Can I say that for the stream for you? No, I cannot. I don't like saying that number. Do I watch anime? No, I do not watch anime. Yo, it says yo. That's what's up. It says how old am I? I'm 19. Yo, Kenji, shout outs to you for liking and subscribing. We appreciate that. Oh gosh, it says hi, babe. It says how old am I? I'm 19. It says you look like Felix from Stray Kids. Everybody says that. It says hi, babe. Let me see. It says are you in a fish? No, I'm definitely not. I'm in the back shed. It says hi, babe. It says house. No, I'm definitely not. It says can you make me a mod, please? I promise to be a good lemon. Just keep on joining and you will. It says are you black? I don't know, man. I don't know what I am. It says I show feet. Oh gosh. And let me see. It says hi, I'm 2000. Nice. It says I subscribe. Shout outs to Asuela for subscribing. Thank you. Let me see. It says have you been the summer I turned pretty? What? No, it says user says hey, what's up? Trini says hi. It says I'm 20. I'm 13. A user says I sub. Shout outs to user for subscribing. Thank you for that. Yo, Joseph says hello. What's up, Joseph? Welcome in on the stream. Let me see here. Yo, Yokota, is that what it is? It says I sub. Shout outs to you for subscribing. Paint says Wolf. Yo, Iconic says I subscribe. Shout outs to you for subscribing. Thank you so much. Hi, love from Carlo in England. Yo, nice. We appreciate the love from England. Thank you. It says I did not sub. That's okay. Maybe one day you will. Let me see here. It says also, did you know that the fact you can't consume an 37? Really? I did not know that. That's pretty cool. It says, can I be a mod? Mason says, can I be a mod? Maybe one day. Let me see. It says, if you like, you can call me Esme. Does that say Esme? Okay. It says, hi, I'm back. Nice. Yo, Diego says, wow, thanks. It says, yay. It says, yeah, let me see. It says, lucky man, you don't have finals? No joke, dude. I'm glad I don't have finals. Thank God. That's exciting. That's exciting to know that I don't have to have any kind of finals or anything. Have I ever ridden a mini bike? That's a good question from Cody. The only thing that I've ridden was like a bike, and that was about it. Not like a bicycle, but like a mini. No, not a mini dirt bike, but just a regular dirt bike. But that's about it. Let me see here. It says, do I like cute? What? Okay. Let me see. It says, I like your hair. Why are you so pretty? I have no idea. I have no idea. Ask the creator above. I don't really necessarily think so, but appreciate it. Yo, Stevie England says, Brandon, can I go pick up something you said last time? What's that? What did I say last time? Let me see here. It says, do you love in South Africa? Yes, we love our people from South Africa. We love our people from all over the world, y'all. It's definitely a good sign whenever people are showing up constantly. Let me see here. It says, is Jeb, please unblock me. Okay, I don't know what that is. Cool. Hi, guy. Let me see here. It says, do I remember who I am? Yes, I said KO Rants from the beginning. It says, I live in England. Let me see. It says, you said you could beat a... hand to hand. I have to disagree. Yeah, I definitely didn't say that, but I appreciate that anyways. Appreciate the comments. We love the comments, y'all. It's a lot of fun. But look at this, y'all. Since my phone doesn't have to be charged, here's the little tour of the room right there. You already got it. Yo, it says hi from Italy. What's up? It says my English is not Englishing in the chat. Yo, Cara says what's up? What's up, Cara? How are we doing? How are we doing, y'all? Look at that, 13 popping up in the chat. I'm telling you, we're hitting multiple time zones. We're doing really, really good, y'all. It says, can I join the live? Well, I mean, you are in the live right now, but I mean, you know. It says, hi, I'm from the USA. What's up, Maddie? From the USA. We appreciate that. It says, what's good, man? It says, I've been here before and I subbed. Yes, I remember you, Johnny. Thank you so much for your subscription and thank you so much for joining in again, man. We appreciate that a lot. We really, really do. Let me see here. Sandra says, hey, it says Brandon is 2026, so we're not going to stop saying that. Let me see. It's the new yours, so guys, don't say or else. Right? It says, do a flip. Boom. There you go. Did my flip. It says, hi from Texas, USA. Yo, what's up, Cara from Texas? What's up? Joseph says, I'm back. It says, do I live in South America? No, I live in Texas. 68. Nice. And then Kimberly says, bro, what's up? What is up, y'all? Sandra says the numbers. Let me see here. It says, I want to study in Oxford, but my dad doesn't agree to be alone because it's dangerous and unknown. That's true. Roman does the little tear thing. Let me see. It says, am I British? No, I am not British. By no means, I'm a Texan. Garrett, yes. G-Man, what's up? It says, yo, made it. What's up, dude? Let me see. It says, hi from Cape Town, South of Africa. What's up? It says, hair fall, right, all the way down. Let me see. It says, do I have a girlfriend? No, I do not have a girlfriend. Let me see here. It says, why do all people from Texas want to go to California? No joke. I don't understand that, man, if I'm being honest with you. I really don't understand. I don't comprehend. It says, what? True? This is my problem, man. Yeah, because it's dangerous. Yeah, dangerous. If it's dangerous, you don't want to go to it, you know? Oh, okay. I have 2 dogs is what I have. It says, show hairline, please. I have no hairline, y'all. I'm telling y'all, I have no hairline. Let me see. It says, I'm in California. What's up from California? Vince, or does that say Vince? Vince says, hi. What's up? Let me see. It says, I don't want to go to California, low, but 90% of my friends do, low. That's crazy. I don't see why people want to go to California, but it is what it is. It says, hi, Morris. What? Okay. You see, it says 100% line. Wow. Right? No joke. No joke. Let me see here. It says, I have a story when I was in a place that hot. Let me see. I won't tell me where I was, but bro was going to come up close with the goats and chase the cows away. And the cow chased my brother, and I was scared and almost died. Yikes. Diva says, hello. Yo, what's up, Diva? How are we doing? Harris says, hello. Let me see. Kara Stevens says, hi. Says, what's up, brother? From Oak Ridge, what's up? Says, hello, Bram. Says, where in Texas am I from? Deep in the heart of Texas. Mom Trauma says, bye. Let me see. It says, do something, man. You talk a lot. Yeah, I know I do. It says, I'm curious. I want to see you and your child. I don't have a child. Let me see. It says, you are cute. Okay. Let me see here. It says, bro, how flip do you read that fast? I have no idea. Let me see here. It says, are you gay? No, I'm not gay. Let me see. It says, bro, do you think you would be bald in 10 to 20 years? Absolutely. I really do. Let me see. It says, I went to jail in a day. From back windows ring. Still wanting my dream. Wow. Let me see. It says, do I ranch? No, I do not ranch. Let me see here. How's your kid, Brody? I have no idea. Let me see. It says, I'm from... Oh, okay. Cool. You can go back from which you came. There you go. Let me see here. What else do we have going? It says, I'm back. Yo, Forsaken says, I'm back. It says, you were born upside down. Absolutely. It says, I'm good. You look like the guy, and I don't know what that word is, but thank you. Let me see here. It says, do I support occupying and oppressing police for U.S. government and the world? Today, I'm not answering any political questions. Let me see here. It says, how the light is faster, but the sun is still here. No joke. That's actually a good question. Let me see. How does it feel to have a job? You know, that's a good question. It says, am I single? Yes, I do. It says, so will I do a hair transplant? No, probably not. It says, that is crazy. I don't know what's crazy, but okay. Yo, Lewis says, what's up? What's up, man? Let me see. It says, I'm still here. It says, dude, can you talk a little slow? Not really. Especially whenever I'm reading comments, it's kind of hard to. Yo, Lemon says, hi. Let me see. It says, can you eat laundry detergent? Yes, you can, but you'll die from it. Let me see. Are we free in Palestine? I'm not answering that. Let me see. Do you have to work today? No, I do not have to work today, thank God. It says, do I fish and hunt? Every great once in a while. It says, do I have a girlfriend? No, I do not. Early live today? Yeah, on Sundays I like to do it early. So that way I can get it done and get in with my day. It says you look like Suhan from there. Let me see. It says, today I got pardoned from jail. Congratulations on that. It says, I remember you, we kissed at the, okay, sure. Let me see. It says, nah, he's single. It says, awesome, bye, bro. Let me see. Hello, how is your day? My day's going great. It says, can I get an opinion on something? My girl took a picture with a guy she used to talk with while she was in another state, and she never told me about it. Am I wrong to be upset? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not, dude. I would definitely put that as a red flag. It says, now you do. It says, for what? It says, bro, do you like Papa's con? I don't know what that is. It says, oh no, bro. They're on their way. Let me see. It says, did I have church? Yes, I did. It was a great service too. I look like Stukin from there. Let me see. How was my day today? My day was great. It says, your boyfriend broke up with you. What? I have no idea what that is. Let me see. It says, can you make me a mod or something? I don't know what it is, please. Eventually. Let me see. It says, you're him. Right. It says, I like you. I appreciate that. Let me see. It says, OMG, bro, you're rapping faster than Eminem. It says, what's up, bro? What's up, G Edits? Let me see here. It says, hi, hi, it's me, Victor. What's up, Victor? Let me see. It says, you okay? Yes, I'm okay. Let me see. It says, hey, man, what color is your, let me see here. Am I in an attic? No, I'm not. I'm in a back shed. It says, I'm about to leave church. That's what's up, bro. Let me see. It says, bro, where do you guys get the sheds to look so, where do you get the sheds that look so comfortable? I have no idea. No, you cannot. It says, everyone follow his Twitch. I'm not gonna lie, I actually thought I heard something. Which is crazy. Yo, I'm definitely gonna pin that message because that's a good one. Let me see. This is funny. Appreciate that. It says, remember me. I do remember you, Wilson. You're one of my public subscribers. Thank you for joining in the game. It says it's better than YouTube because I fell from the sea. Water was ice cream. Okay, let me see. It says, I don't have Twitch, bro. Nah, you're good. Just download Twitch, man. Just download it, man. Just give me a good follow. That's all I ask for. You can create an account using Google or Apple, whichever one you choose. Yo, Lisa says hi. Welcome back into the chat, Lisa. We appreciate you so much for coming in. Let me see here. It says, what was my high school life like? Was it action-packed as we see in movies? No, it was not because I was homeschooled. It sucked. It says, Ola from Egypt? Yo, what's good? What is good, my guy? I like how you have a Mr. Beast thing. That's cool. It says, how many cops to change a light bulb? That's a good question. It says, you didn't even read my comment? Because this is your first comment, my guy. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I don't read curse words, bro. I ain't going to lie to you. I don't read those. You see, it says, definitely not. Let me see. It says, why do Americans talk so fast? That's a good question. It says, Brandon, can you see my text? I have no idea. Let me see here. It says, thank you for pinning my message. I'm a big fan. Also, I'm so sorry for missing 2 lives. You're good, dude. Yo, Philip says hi. Meep says hi. Where do I live? In Texas. Preston made it in the chat. What's up, Preston? What's up, dude? It says, I'm about to leave church. That's what's up. It says, can you recognize my profile picture? Yes, I definitely did for Mr. Beast, one of his first videos. Yo, Jasper says hi. What's up? Cotton says, does a straw have 1 or 2 holes? That's a great question. I still don't know that one. Ronaldo all the way. It says, what's up, Preston? It says, Brandon, can you make me mod? Every time you ask, I'm not going to do it. It says, are you going to vote Trump? Already did. See, crazy how in the same country as you, right? It says, you didn't read my comment again. Had no curse words, unsub. Yeah, I did too. I did too, my man. I said, you didn't read my comment again. It has no curse words. Oh, now you changed it. It says, you said I have a hot, sexy American voice. You should be proud. Okay. Let me see here. It says, one more live until my 10th live. That's right. I got to, hang on. There you go. Let me see here. Luna says hi. Hook says hi. Y45 Football says hi. Let me see. It says, nice seeing you in the live, joining you from South America or South Africa. Thank you. Appreciate that, Meep. Shout outs to Meep. Says, I just subscribed. Thank you. Let me see here. It says, in high school, I've accumulated a lot of material. I need advice. What kind of advice? Let me see. It says, Garrett, what's up? It says, you voted Trump. that makes me want to unsub more, then unsub. I don't care. Let me see. Luna says hi. It says I like Nick. Okay, cool. Let me see here. It says you should give some expressions. I guess. What do you mean give some expressions? Let me see. Polynesians for supernatural bird like. Okay, let me see. It says ignore Drew. He's hating. Absolutely. It says why do you keep on ignoring me? I said show me your tooth. Pet dogs. No, please. I beg you. I'll do anything. Definitely, dude. I'm not showing you my dogs. Let me see here. It says, oh, I was testing you to see if you could read a comment when I asked you if I could be mod. Definitely not. Let me see here. It says, cool. We appreciate that, man. We definitely need that. It says, OMG, thank you. You're welcome. Trump is awesome. There we go. Peace and love from Lapland, Sweden. That's cool. It says, never forget you are precious. I appreciate that. It says, say grenades 7 times fast. High school advice. Oh, uh-oh. Let me see here. It says, what country am I in right now? The United States of America. It says, weird question, but can I ask? You can ask any question, but it's probably going to get deleted. It says, Jesus is King. Absolutely. What's my plans for this year? To keep on doing lives, for sure. It says, want to hear a joke? Give me the joke. Yo, A9 says, hi. It says, you low-key look like Justin Bieber without Haley. Nice. It says, do I want to hear a joke? Trump. Do you want to hear a joke too, Drew? You ready to hear a joke? You ready? You ready? You're banned. Let me see. It says, Brandon, can you say a swear word just once? No. Why would I want to do that? That contradicts what my channel says. I'm not doing that. Let me see. It says, when a short person smoke, will it be high or medium? Oh, that's a good question, man. That's hilarious, though. It says, but do you support movements after Trump, after he invaded Venezuela? I still support Trump no matter what. Let me see here. It says, do we have any blonde people here anywhere? Hi, hello, hi. You see, he says, hi, I'm new here. Yo, Joy, welcome in. We read everybody's comments. We appreciate you joining in. This is what do I think of Trump. I said I'm not answering any more political questions, y'all. Let me see here. It says, please show me your 2 dogs. Let me see here. It says, OMG, lol. It says, we love Trump. Trump, yes. Let me see. Rich people laugh. It says, finally he laughed, yay. Yeah, it was a funny joke. It was hilarious. It says, you didn't tell me. No, I said, editor, you can go ahead. You can ask the question. What's your question? Let me see. It says, I've been and I got in a fight. Yikes. Let me see. It says blonde everywhere. It says, bro, you look 26, but believe it or not, man, I'm only 19. It says, I have a black eye. Yikes. That sucks. But high school advice is stay to yourself. Don't get in any trouble or anything crazy. It says, I make the kids cry. Let me see. Am I in an attic right now? No, I'm in a back shed, actually. It says, what is a fish without an eye? And it says, I appreciate you responding to all my comments, even the negative ones. Absolutely. It says, I meant fish. Sorry. You're good. It says, am I in an attic? No, I'm not. It says, lucky when I see a YouTuber who I've grown up, but I'm not saying you're not that old, but I'm scared of them when I ask a question. Let me see. It says, what's my favorite live? Mine was when Kid and Kayla won. Mine's got to be whenever those 2 verified YouTubers came in, bro, for me. That was clutch. Let me see here. It says, is the whole America like Hawkins? Kind of in a sense, not necessarily, though. That's a sincere best advice for you in your life. Okay. It says, show us your home. Definitely can't do that for the time of being. Let me see here. It says, in a fighting with 2 kids. Did my cousin, they had black eyes. Make questions right. Yikes. Your Uber just, okay, cool. We love that, Freddie. We appreciate that. It says, where am I from? I'm from Texas. It says, Brendan is pretty cool. He's nice. He reads everyone's comments and is family friendly. Absolutely. It says, Brandon, do I watch the 7 Deadly Sins? No, I did not. It says, what's my age? My age is 19. My age is 19. I am 19 years old. Let me see here. It says, what's Hawkins? That's what I'm wondering. It says, you should turn on Super Chat. I don't have Super Chat yet, y'all. I still don't have Super Chat yet. It says, I look like Logan Paul. A lot of people say I look like Logan Paul, which is crazy. Hey, guess what, Parkland? Guess what, bud? Guess what? Guess what, bud? Here you go. You ready? You ready? You're banned. Banned. You ain't doing that to my moderators. Yo, it says, praise Dr. Ray Stans. Okay, let me see. It says, Hawkins from Stranger Things. Oh, definitely not. Let me see. It says, from which state? Texas. I'm from Texas. Wow, younger Hitler's crazy. Let me see here. It says, should I press the like and subscribe? Chat, should Joy press the like and subscribe? It says, guess what? I win the fight. Congratulations. It says, let's get them to super chat. No joke, y'all. We definitely need that. Let me see here. It says my profile's been the same since July 11th, 2025. Lol. It says, I love Stranger Things. I'm Stranger Things' biggest fan. Let me see. It says, do I have any brothers? No, I do not have any brothers. But y'all, let her know. Should Joy definitely hit the subscribe? I believe so. I believe you should. Let me see here. It says, you look like you could beat out of somebody. I'm scared, bro. Appreciate that. Let me see here. It says, Dr. Sand is not a god, though. He's just a dude on the Ghostbusters. Nice. It says, what do I think of when I hear Egypt? Pyramids. Let me see. Do you have any sister? Yes, I have one. Let me see here. It says, what do I think of when I hear Egypt? Is my name Stuart? No, my name's Brandon. Let me see. It says, yes, they should. Boom. There you go. Mia says, hello, what's up? It says, I subscribe to you. Now go check. All right, bet. We appreciate that. We'll definitely do so whenever that gets done. It says, Joel, you should double tap the screen. Absolutely. See? And that's what they're saying. It says, me from a past life. Hello, what's up? It says, the more likes and subs Brandon has, the more people show up. Exactly. And the more we do these lives and the more we go on to Twitch and we do everything else there too. Let me see here. It says, okay, I did it and having a fun day even though I have a black eye. Yo, Joy, shout outs to you for subscribing and liking. Thank you. It says, what's up, gang? What's good, man? Let me see here. It says, do I like Lana something? Okay. It says, all right, bet, y'all. I'm leaving. I hope you have a great day. God bless all of us guys. So bye. Let me see. It says, dude, who is my role model? My role model has got to be my Lord and Savior, even though I don't get to see him, but he's a great role model to go by, honestly. It says, are you a Swiftie? No, I'm definitely not a Swiftie. Let me see, what are my thoughts on India? India is cool. It's just a big place, y'all. It's just super, super big. I'd much prefer Texas. Let me see here. It says, it's snowing at my place, low. I wish it was snowing at mine. It says, bro, guess what? I make a YouTube channel. Congratulations, Joy. Go right ahead. That's what's up. It says, Brandon deserves 1K subs. Y'all, I appreciate that. I really do. It helps out a lot whenever y'all come on these streams and y'all like, comment, share, and everything else. It says, you my top 3 favorite YouTuber. Appreciate that, dude. That takes a lot. I appreciate that. That takes a lot, Joy, to be able to say thank you. Even whenever I get at 100,000, if I do get to that one day, like I'm telling you, I'm still going to be reading these comments. This is going to be so much harder. Let me see. It says, I'm making pancakes. Who wants some? I'll definitely take one. Let me see. It says, Logan Paul and KSI just visited India. Nice. It says, I hope to move to America. It says, hold on. I'm a sub on Meet Kids. Okay. It says, respect to Joy. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't care if y'all do plugins on y'all's channel. Y'all can do that. It doesn't bother me none. It does not bother me. This is a chat. You can plug your channel in and do whatever you need to do. I'm chill like that. Let me see here. It says, you are my favorite YouTuber just to make you happy. Appreciate that. Thank you, Diva. Let me see here. Joy says, hi. It says, dead chat today? Definitely not. Definitely not a dead chat. Let me see. It says, what do I think we should go to university? Should we go to university? If you want to, guys, that's up to y'all for y'all's education. If you think that you need it and it's necessary, by all means, please go right ahead. Let me see here. It says, this is my 20th time making a channel. Wow. 20th time? It's crazy. It says, I'm going to argue with my aunt now. All right. Yo, Kiara says hi, or hi guys, says hi, what's up? Yo, Paula says you need to, for that pimple, I know, dude, I know, it's so bad. I have another one right here too. I have 1, 2, 3 of them right now. It's actually terrible. It's low-key actually terrible. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's bad.
I don't know if it's because of stress or what it's from. I think it's from stress from work, but that's about it. Because I don't normally break out like this, and when I try to pop it, it hurts so bad. I don't know why stress hits hurt so bad, but they do. It says you're my favorite live streamer. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that for Shookin. Much appreciated, dude. Thank you. It's always nice to consistently see that we have 5 people in chat. That's cool. Let me see here. It says, how much does it cost of living for you per month? It's roundabout, not for me, but for my parents, it's around 3 grand. It says, bro, do I want to listen to a song on my suggestion? I mean, what's your suggestion? Yo, it says, hi, I'm back. What's up? It says, sorry, my alt can't join because YouTube not loading well for the update from 2021. Wow, that's a long update. It says, hi, let me see. It says, hi, bro, you one of my favorites. I hope you're doing well and lots of love from this side, by the way. My fingers are so okay, buddy. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but okay, buddy. But I appreciate the love, though. Let me see here. It says, where are your parents' siblings? No offense, mate. They're off out and about right now. It says, my favorite YouTuber, Flunton Chaos, and you. Appreciate that. Thank you. It says, you look Irish. It says, you're so stinky. Okay. It says, Moonjam Book. What? Okay. It says, have I ever been outside of Texas before? Yes, we took a nice trip over in 2021. It was a blast, y'all. It was definitely a blast. Definitely a blast. For sure. It says, "What's my thoughts on incest weddings? I definitely don't approve of them. I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that. That's not something I would do." It says, "I love watching live videos. Even you appreciate that." It's here. It says, "I want to buy a guitar, but my dad refuses. Well, my family is known for being conservative, but I'll buy the guitar and surprise him. I think we'll cut off my allowance for a while." You're probably right. It says, "Watching right now. Love content. Much appreciated, man. Thank you, me." Let me see here. It says, "Have you ever saw Leatherface and Tex?" I don't even know what that is, but okay. It says, "How old was I when I started my first job?" I was 16 when I started my first job. Well, actually, my first one ever, I was 15, working up in Addicts. It says, "Bro, it's a Sunday." Yes, it is. It says, "You're not stinky." It says, "You're not stinky is better than you." Okay, appreciate that. It says, "No problem." It says, "Who is the most American person you know?" That's a good question. Joe Rogan's actually pretty good with being American. I'm not gonna lie. Let me see here. It says, user says Joe Bart. Nice. It says, "I like watching your video. Appreciate that." It says, "Is Texas good for you?" Yeah, it is. I like it. I like it for the people. It says, "So should I do it?" I mean, if you know you're gonna get cut off from your allowance, I wouldn't necessarily consider it. If you know you're gonna lose it, because then if you want to buy something, then you wouldn't be able to. Let me see here. It says, "You know Joe Rogan?" Yeah, he's pretty cool. I watch his podcast a lot. Let me see. It says, "My first ever message I ever said on your live was, what's your favorite movie?" Yep. Let me see. It says, "You look like Joe Bart." It says, "My birthday is January 17th, 2026. Coming up soon. Happy early birthday." This says, "I beat Bob. It's almost 20 times this micro series." Really? I also beat past it solo. Nice. Are you a dad? No, I'm not a dad. It says, "Can I donate to you?" The only way that you'll be able to donate right now is there's a link in my bio called Buy Me a Coffee. You can do it that way. Have I ever felt lonely? Yes, I felt lonely many a times in a room full of people, and it's insane. Oh, have I ever seen him live? Like actually in person? No, I've never seen Rogan in person. It says, "I'm Australian." Nice. It says, "You look like Joe Bart. You look like Joe Bart." Okay, just keeps on spamming that. Love that. It says, "You look like Joe Bart." It says, "Hey, let me see." It says, "Hey, man, did I watch Heated Rivalry Series?" No, I have not. Let me see. It says, "Okay, let me see." It says, "Don't come in Australia." Definitely not thinking about it by any means. It says, "You look like Joe Bart." Let me see. How many coffees have I gotten? I've gotten 3 so far. 2 from Roach and 1 from Amy, which we appreciate a lot. A lot, a lot. It says, "He lives in your area." No, I wish he did. Let me see. It says, "I'm American. Lord, we love that." It says, "You look like Joe Bart." Again. Let me see here. It says Celtic or Rangers. That's a good question. Probably gonna have to go with the Celtics. Let me see. Do I like Joe Bart? I don't even know who he is. Says, can you give away me a Ferrari? If you're okay, it says if you're a good YouTuber, you will. Oh my gosh. Let me see. This says I'm from Afghanistan. Nice. It says, did you know I fought a kangaroo? Wow, crazy. It says flex. It says I will buy the guitar. Nothing will stop me. All right. It says stop spamming. It says take my name. Definitely not. Time out. Done. User. Done. There we go. Let's see, it says what car do I own? I own a Mercedes. Let me see. It says he's no Joe Bart. He is a cool person. I appreciate that, y'all. Let me see. It says I can see the resemblance of Joe Bart and Brandon. It says what's my birthday of the days? February 11th. February 11th is when my birthday is. It says, well, you know that they say it's better to come from the sink than to. Okay. Let me see. It says Jordan, don't say that. Let me see. It says, do I watch Stranger Things? No, I do not. It says, have I ever met Mr. Beast in the U.S.? No, I have not. It says, laughter makes the world go round. It definitely does. It says, can you show us around your house? Like I said, the only thing that I can show you around is this little place, like right here. And that's about it. That's the only place that I do, for the most part. It says, nice forehead. You're wildly gifted. I know I'm wildly gifted. Let me see. It says, I watch Stranger Things. Nice. It says, he's not Joe Bart. He's a cool person. I appreciate that. A4ADL. Yo, Lynn says hi. It says, you're cute. All right. Appreciate that. Thank you. It says, he got that rich people laugh. Hey, you're not the first person to say that either. It says, you look like a ginger. Trish says, hi. It says, who's Joe Bart? For real, that's who I'm wondering too. Let me see. It says, is it morning there? It's mid-afternoon. It's 12:14 right now for where I'm at. It says, how do I pronounce P? That looks like a P. But it also looks like a B. Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity? Yeah, I'm doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Yeah. Joshua says, hello. It says, in a kangaroo bringing friends so I could run. Let me see. Have I ever imagined myself as a dark-skinned person? Not really. It says, Joe Bart is a streamer. I know I'm balding. I know. Let me see. It says, he can easily beat KSI in a forehead competition. If I get popular off of that, that's going to be terrible. It says, did I get a job? Yes, I have a job. P is a T. Okay. This is my rifle. There are many like it. This one's mine. My rifle is my best friend. Is my life. Nice. Yo, Joshua says 2:30 MP. Or probably PM. Okay, this says me versus 1, but 4 kangaroos. Yeah, you're not winning that, Chief. I'm sorry. If you think you're winning that, you ain't winning that, Chief. I'm sorry. Ain't no way. Ain't no way you're winning that. Helpful review. Okay, cool. Riding Hot Wheels on my forehead's crazy. It says, thanks, Garrett. Nice. Let me see here. It says, no. Let me see. It says, what do I call a soldier with no arms? Army. That's how it used to be. Let me see here. It says, are you doing live from a basement? No, I'm not. I'm just doing it from the back shed. Avi says hi, or Bree says hi. What's up? Or hey, what's up? It says, so can I play Roblox games? Yeah, you can, by all means. It says, yo, I'm sorry I can't read your username, but I wish I could. Let me see here. It says, watch out for the snake. And it says, I'm shutting down 2000s TV. Wow. I'll show it. That's hilarious, dude. And it says, what's my favorite game? I like playing Call of Duty Mobile. I like playing Fortnite. I like playing those kind of games. Action-based games is what you could call it. Yo, Captain says, Sui. Nice. Says, Unk skipping me. No, definitely not. Let me see here. It says, did you build your shed? If so, how long did it take? Probably like 2 or 3 months. It took a while. See, it says, let me see. It's crazy. Right? Messi or Ronaldo? Ronaldo. Willow says, hi. It says, this guy need a tan? I do. It says, you from Harry Potter? No. It says, what is my favorite character? Mine is Ghost. Definitely Ronaldo, like I said. Some bros hitting W's now because of it. We appreciate that. Like I said, I wish I could read your username, but I can't. It says, yo, it says, he looks quite scared to get a tan. No joke, says W. It says, let me see. Can you give me a tip how to get more subscribers, please? Yeah, absolutely. So you're at 37. So what I did was I posted YouTube shorts until I got to 50 subscribers. Once I got to 50 subscribers, then I went and you can start doing live streams that way. Live streams is where it's at, man. I'm telling you, that is the best thing to do. And consistency and persistency is number one in getting your channel to grow. Let me see. It says, that's a long yo. I agree. It says, yo. Yeah, let me see. So you look fine. Why you want to be tan? Yeah. It says, what sport do I play? On my days, whenever I'm just having fun, I'm just playing basketball. It says, yo, what up, boy? What's up? It says, in Australia, the timers, it's 3:47 a.m. Gosh, it's same. It says, go live is the way to go, for real. It says, what sport do I play? It says, you look like Bang Chen from Stray Kids. Oh my gosh, let me see. It says, no, I've been run away. Okay, it says, show us your fit, Unk. My fit is this, bro. That's my fit. Let me see here. It says, you look like a sick eagle. Eagle. Okay, let me see. It says, what sport do I play? Again, I don't really necessarily play. It says K. It says, yo, it's pronounced Zinla? Is that what it is? It says, you look like a rich guy. I'm definitely not. It says, nice. You look like a bully from American movies. Nice. Okay. Let me see here. It says, I'm in India and it's 11:49. Nice. It says, can you help me as a new mod? What you got? It says, no, he looks like Felix, y'all. Oh my gosh. It says, W Fit love you. Let me see. It says, I'm a wee bit of a trickster. Oh, okay. Alpha says, yo, what's up? It says, what's in YouTube at the same time? At the same time I was watching you? It's a good question. It says, yo, you said you close. Yeah. Let me see. It says, you look great. Don't listen to the Mancos. Alright. Let me see. It says, Plimo, let me see. It says, how dare you take my first place? Right. Hi, it's my birthday tomorrow on 15. Yo, happy early birthday, Chris. Happy early birthday to you. Let me see here. It says, I will help you too. Let me see. Honestly, teenage kids are becoming way more famous just by doing that and some stupid dance trends, like actually hardworking people. Right? Like, aren't you getting as famous as they deserve to be? But actual hardworking people like you aren't getting as famous as they deserve to be. I appreciate that, Diva. I really do. Thank you for that. It says, I waited for a movie for months and I went to the cinema and I couldn't find my tickets. I actually cried. That's a bummer. It says, how do you get pimples? From stress, I guess. It says, thank you. It says, I'm not trying to be rude, but why do y'all look like Zuckerberg and Musk had a baby? Also just subbed and liked. Greetings from, it looks like France. Is that where it is? Yo, family, dude, that's hilarious, dude. That's awesome. It says, games. What is that supposed to mean? Okay, yeah, that's what I'm wondering too. It says, me and the homies got bad sinuses. Oh, that sucks. Let me see, it's Bop It. Oh, the game. Pull it, bop it, twist it. Yeah. Let me see, it says, I know you already have a moderator, but I've never been one. Can I please? It will be me, or it means so much to me. Maybe eventually. It says, hi, pretty. Why do people low-key think I'm pretty? I don't understand that, like, for real. It says, I have one to subscribe. Let me see here. It says, we got Marco's leaking out nose. Ouch. We need toilet paper to clean it quick. Ouch. We got bad sinuses. That sucks. Netherlands. Nice. It says, yo, bro. What's up? What's up, dude? Flick it, spin it, bop it. Yeah. Do I support Charlie Kirk? I did, but while he was alive. It says, bro, truth or dare? Truth. Let me see here. You look like Boss Baby when he had grown up. Oh, that's funny. It says, what is my favorite anime? I don't watch anime. Let me see here. It says, my old one is better. It says Subi. It says IBU. Okay. It says, what is my name? My name is Brandon. Let me see here. It says, can I come to Dubai? Work here and you will be rich? No joke. My top 3 favorite movies. It says, I hate Charlie Kirk. Okay. I appreciate that comment. Sure. I love him. It says, let's go. Real Murad. Let me see. It says, do I have a girlfriend? No, I do not have a girlfriend. It says, Stranger Things. It says, Chevy don't cuss. Rock, paper, scissors. Definitely going paper. Let me see. It says, do you have a wife? Because your face looks so wild. Okay, no, definitely not. It says, bro, spitting. And I don't know that one. I don't know the Visca, Rocco, whatever that is. I don't know what that is. It says, my last one is Pennywise. It says, hello. It says, we love Charlie Kirk. Absolutely. It says, nerd beef, don't say that. Me and the homies in the snow, and we got boogers hanging out our nose. That's what we call bad sinuses. It says, I'm a small creator. Nice. It says, I choose rock, you win, Brandon. Appreciate that. It says, are you the Rizzler? Definitely not. I remember whenever they do that trend, they go, like, what? Let me see. It says, guess my age. 14. Let me see. It says, I'm 11 years old. Nice. It says, my birthday's close up to Christmas. Nice. It says, you like girls? Yes, I do like girls. And it says, we are Charlie Kirk. There you go. It says, what do you mean about some people? And they're writing weird comments. Like, weird comments like that. Let me see here. It says, can you say happy birthday to my 96-year-old Nan, please? Happy birthday to you. It says, hey, stop deleting. Why? It says I'm 17. Nice. It says, give him bars to spit. It says, her name's Bear Rice. Happy birthday to you. It says, yo, why are you ignoring me? Definitely not ignoring you. Let me see. It says, hi, how are you? I'm doing good. How are you? Let me see. It says, rest in peace, Granny. She got hit by, okay. Yo, it says, hi. It says, hope you and your staff is doing good today. It says, I'm not unfreezing my berries off. Nice. Okay. It says, over here, since it's negative 8.8 degrees, the U.S. duchies are weaklings when it comes to ice and snow. You're not wrong. We really are. It's crazy. Please answer my girl question like you. What? But I did. I said I like girls. Let me see here. From Italy. Yo, what's up? Somebody's from Italy. What's up, Gabriel? It says, I hate that one kid for him. Always fight, right? It says, good day, mate. Just come back from church. Nice, Hutchin. We appreciate that. It says, I'm going to sleep. Bye. Have a good one. Thank you so much, Joy, for joining in and subscribing. Gabriel says, I don't know what that says, but it says, I'm trying to do my best. As a new bod, you're good. It says, did you study English grammar in high school? Definitely not, and it definitely shows. Let me see here. Yo, Doom says sup. It says, I'm from Australia. Yes, I remember, Hudson. You've been in quite a few of my lives. It says, who agrees Kayla's are and get together? Okay. It says, I was just joking. Nice. $31 likes, y'all. That's crazy. I'm just now noticing how many likes are up there. That's awesome. It says, I'm guessing what me and a kid are in the same class. Nice. It says I wasn't. It says okay. It says BRB. Okay, cool. You can do that. Didn't need to know that valuable information, but thank you anyways. Bro says okay. He says, hi Indonesia, watching from the far east. Now it's Monday, 1 a.m. Holy smokes. Don't worry, bro, it's easy. You'll get the hang of it. Like 2 or 3 streams, being a mod, you're doing awesome right now. See, this is the kind of people we need, like family dudes right here. Dudes legit. Yo, Kazi. Kazi says sup. What's up, Kazi? How are we doing? Let me see here. It says, I am Arabic and I got 98 English and 85 in Arabic. Nice. It says, hello, Mr. Rappel. What's up, Jimmy? It says, family dude, thank you. It says, where do I live? Dallas? No, I live in Texas, but not in Dallas. You see, it says, better today. I'm alive still. There you go. That's a great way to look at it. It says, funnel recent. Definitely not. It says, Jay, don't do that. It says, I'm going to get off here, but y'all have a great week and subscribe to Brandon's YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. And definitely go check out Preston's too. For real, y'all. Go check it out. It says, spelling wrong way, sorry. It says, good night, Preston. It says, can I become a moderator? Definitely not. It says, bro, why is bro ignoring me? Definitely not ignoring you. Alberton, Austin, Houston, around Houston. Let me see. It says, I'm in Joy. You're good. People are going to say what they want to for a second. I'm not going to lie. So just let them be. Until it's bad. You're right. If you beg for mod, you won't get it. That's true. Yolin says, I'm here. What's up? It says, did you say you're going off for something else? No, I did not. I didn't say that. Someone else did. Let me see. It says, Kenzie says, hi. It says, I'm going to get off too. Subscribe to Brandon. We appreciate that, man. Thank you, Garrett, for joining in, bro. We appreciate it. Let me see here. It says, can you go back to sleep again? Can you tell me when you live? Yeah, you'll see a notification if you push on the bells. It says, all right, I'm back. Connor says, I'm back. What's up, Connor? See, you've been in quite a few lives, man. How are we doing, bro? This says, awesome possum. Let me see. It says, KD and Thompson. There it says, like and subscribe, chat. Definitely. It says, I live in Manchester. Nice. It says, do you have TikTok? Yes, I do have a TikTok. I do have a TikTok. Hey, Forsaken, don't be timing out people, bro. Don't be timing them out. It says, it's been a crazy month, so it has, oh. Let me see. It says, I love your lives. Oh, my. It's been so long since shared your channel with me. I love it. Appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. Let me see here. It says, I have over 1,000 coins. Wow, that's a lot. So sorry, you're good, dude. Let me see. It says, been crazy for you. You ain't. Let me see. Been crazy for you too, ain't it? More people have been watching you. You ain't lying. There's a lot of people watching me now. Whew. Last time I checked before this live stream was 645. Lynn says, hi, what's up, Lynn? I see you've been in quite a few of my chats too. How are you doing? It says, I'm getting a midnight snack. Nice. It says, do I have Discord? Yes, I do have a Discord. I need to put my TikTok and Discord in the bio, honestly. Yo, a life of a tortured showgirl. That's a new one. Let me see. It says, hi, how is your day going? Do I like Taylor Swift? I do not listen to her, if I'm being honest with you. I really don't. It says, what's the Discord? I need it. Actually, it's in my bio. You can look at it. You can look at it in my bio. It's better. It says, better have people watching you than you watching people. No joke. Xena says, yo. Let me see here. It says, guess what? I have a video on TikTok too. Nice. It says, that's considered stalking. Right? It says, I hate Taylor Swift. It says, yo. It says, I'll be back and joining the Discord. Appreciate that. It says, yo. It says, I ain't done much content wise recently. Oh man, that's a bummer. It says, wheat-filled wheat, cornfield wheat pennies. Nice. It says, that's okay. 3. Also, my user is Taylor Swift ref, not Swifties. Are so confused when they see it. No joke. It says, yo. It says, Now I pass the time by listening to these chats. Appreciate that. It says, why do I feel like you're judging us based on our ages? Like you talking with us for fun? Yeah, I'm talking with y'all for fun. I'm not trying to do anything creepy or anything. That's weird. It says your bio only has the coffee and Twitch, not Discord. Yeah, it's in the description thing when you read it. It says, yo. It says, do I know Ethan? Definitely not. So stop spam. It says, did you blow bubbles when you were younger? I absolutely did. It was a blast. It says, my oldest wheat coin is a 1910 wheat penny. Yo, wheat pennies are expensive. It says, yo, it says, you know what? Look, I'm done with you spamming this junk. It says, I'm not stalking. It says, my mom bought me a Lego. Nice. It says, are possible build a dinosaur? It says, gonna go back to making videos. No, and I'm slowing down on the drinking. Now I've got to slow down now. Gotcha. It says, I heard Bubbles back in town. He's looking for you from SpongeBob. Nice reference. It says, I mean, you're laughing at our questions. What kind of questions? Let me see here. This doesn't look like a vegan cereal killer. Nice. It says, I'm back. What's up? George just giving me a look. Okay. It says, but I built a Demigorgon. Wow, nice. It says, it's just a laugh. Everyone laughs. No joke. Let me see here. It says, a monster in Stranger Things. Is that pimple escape hats for your brain? Yes, it is actually, and it's poking right out. It says I have a 1964 quarter. That's pretty cool. I love how I go from 93% to 33% in a matter of 56 minutes being on this. This is awesome. We love that though. That means that y'all are doing y'all's job correctly, so thank you. Fan there, by the way, I just noticed that. I don't know, dude. It's just what we call a shop fan. It says, do I have a carry New Year's? What's a carry? Do I have a carry? I don't know what a carry is. The Discord code didn't work. That's a bummer. Because that's exactly what my Discord is. It says crazy. I meant no carry. Oh, have I had anything? Did I have a crazy New Year? No, by no means. I was asleep for the New Year's. It says, but I know hope. It says, I don't know how to make it. It says, my first creation was the demo Google. Nice. It says, I have TikTok account, X account, Scratch account. They're all Meep games. They all have the same profile picture except Scratch. Nice. It says, skinny and easily broke. It says, I had to help carry someone home during it. Oh my gosh. That's no fun. I know that sucks. Y'all getting out drunk and everything like that. That's crazy. It says, give him more upgrade. Come more better. It says, I need them broke anymore. Right. It says, it was pretty fun. That's what's up. It says, it says, I might make my first TikTok video on February 14, 2026. Why is that so specific? Why that specific date? Why on February 14th? Oh. It says, where are you from, land? Right. It says, the bio just says BB14. It says, not HTTP. Right, I know. But if you type that in, then that's what it's going to be. Valentine's Day? Okay, it says, my mate's dad kept me up till about 4 in the morning. Yikes. I know that's early. It says, what do I know about Iraq? That is close to Iran. But that's about all I know. That is literally about all I know. Says it was mad. I bet it was. That's crazy work. That's crazy work. It says true. Interesting, y'all. Interesting. It says Iraq has good street food, not gonna lie. That's nice. I've never been to Iraq, honestly. Never been anywhere outside the United States. It says invite expired. Okay, this is true. It says that's why I have to slow down for a bit. Because me and him end up going no sleep. Wow. You see, it says, if you're boring, I might go find the same. Okay. It says, if you're boring, I might go find the same. Okay. But yeah, y'all. While we're on, should I get? Oh, it's you again. What's up? And then Blazing Flame says, hi, what's up, Blazing Flame? Christian channel says, strange comment, definitely. And then it says, hi, Blazing. It says, do I like Messi? Ronaldo all the way. But yeah, I'm going to end up getting me a writing board, y'all. I'm going to get a writing board. I'm going to write it out, and then we're going to have that for the subscriber deals. Then Ashley Lake says, hi. What's up, Ashley? So my scratch project, private, nice. It says, finish. So she was Bob. I'm not sure, y'all. But all I know is this. Is that I've been on for an hour, and with that being said, it is my time to get off of here. So y'all will have yet again another live coming in tomorrow. Thank you to all of my brand new subscribers. Thank you to all of my OG subscribers who have consistently showed up. Thank you for your loyalty. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your donations. Thank you for everything that y'all have blessed me with. I appreciate it so much. With that being said, y'all, I hope y'all take care. Y'all have a good one, and I'll have another live tomorrow.